getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind Your Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind Your Arc Basketball. All right, Sal from Behind Your Arc Basketball here. I'm just going to see if I can get my webcam. For some reason, right now the webcam is not popping up, so I'm probably going to have to restart or see like the webcam is able to get up. So thanks all for patiently waiting. Gonna probably pop down the application, bring it up, and then I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, so there we go. So the webcam popped up. Yeah, I don't know why it's having like difficulty. Sometimes it freezes up or so. I don't know why it froze up like that just a moment ago. But we are here, Duke against James Madison, for a big-time matchup coming up in a little bit. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams. It's going to be a big matchup in store here. The Duke Blue Devils going up against the James Madison Dukes in this matchup today. James Madison, record of 32-3 this season for the Dukes. Sun Belt Conference tournament champions. They won 14 straight games in a row for James Madison entering this matchup. And Duke comes in record of 25-8 this season. They are 9-3 in their last 12 games. I'll check it out. Let's see here. Thanks all for patiently waiting. So Mario says it's not clear. Yeah, let me know what you guys are seeing right here. My webcam seems fine on my end, so it's popping up fine over here, but I'll check and see if there's any other things. So it's coming in fine over here. Yeah, I had to have it like buffered down to restart the application for me. There we go, getting better. Good to see. Yeah, it's probably had to like take a transition or so to like get to like HD for the webcam. Hey, what's good? Hockey from home. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Make sure to hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here. James Madison or Duke. Should be a fun matchup in store. James Madison coming into this matchup 11th in the nation in scoring this season, put it up 84 points per game. They are top 35 in the nation in field goal shooting percentage and assists per game this season. 6th in perimeter defense, 12th in the nation in steals. An incredible season for James Madison. The Dukes taking on Duke in the matchup. Duke is a 6.5-point favorite. Hey, what's good? Michael Pringle, welcome in. Glad to have you guys back on the stream for this one. Here's the starters for today's matchup for Duke: Jeremy Roach, Tara McCain, Tyrese Proctor, Mark Mitchell, Kyle Filipowski. Going up against James Madison, starting 5, Xavier Brown, Noah Friedel, Terrence Edwards Jr., TJ Bickerstaff, and Julian Wooden. About to tip off in just a moment. James Madison against Duke, the 12 versus 5 matchup here. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Houston versus Texas A&M later tonight. Duke with the white jerseys, blue numbers, blue letters. Kyle Filipowski came back for unfinished business for the Duke Blue Devils. And James Madison sweeping Wisconsin off the floor in their last game of the 72-61 victory on Friday night. The Wake Up on the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Bradley, welcome on back, man. This should be a fun one right here. Duke on a Sunday in the second round once again in a 5:15 p.m. Eastern time tip-off. James Madison purple jerseys, gold numbers, gold letters with a JMU out in the front as we are underway, and Duke controls the opening tip. Duke is going right to left on the floor as they have it first here. Jeremy Roach at the top of the key for Duke. Slides it over to McCain at the left wing. Gives Filipowski a touch down at the low block. Filipowski double team. Gets it outside. Here's a 3. Catch and fire. Duke delivers. Jeremy McCain delivers in a 3. 3-zip for Duke. James Madison. High flying octane offense. First game. They beat Wisconsin by 11. Put it up the 11th most points per game this season. First possession now for James Madison as they have it with Noah Friedel top of the key. Sends it off to the left wing off to Terrence Edwards, the player of the year out of their conference this season. in the Sun Belt. Down low underneath for James Madison. Able to get the bucket to go. TJ Bickerstaff up and in. Good for two. TJ Bickerstaff is the nephew of JB, the head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. First minute in action so far. Duke with possession number 2. McCain moves it out on top over to Proctor. Now at the left wing, it goes to Roach. Roach dribbles towards his right around the perimeter. Hand off to McCain. McCain down to 12 in the shot clock. Dribbles up now. Right baseline dribble. McCain circles around underneath inside the key. And he gets fouled. So that's on the pass back outside. Stops the clock with 18:47. Best of luck to Pringle taking JMU in this one. Oh, that's awesome. So, Michael grew up playing basketball with Danny Ferry out in Bowie, Maryland. That's awesome, man. Jeffrey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, no problem. And enjoy being away from home there, Jeffrey. No problem, man. Duke will get the inbound coming up underneath their hoop. They send it off to the corner. Roach dribbles up, jumper, deep 2, elbow, swoosh. He connects on it. Great start for Duke. 2 possessions, 2 buckets. Jeremy Roach coming off 14, 5, and 4 for points, rebounds, and assists in the win over Vermont on Friday. Bickerstaff scored the first bucket. Tight ropes, the baseline. Bickerstaff lost it. It's a turnover. Up the floor here. Filipowski finds Roach. Roach to the outside. Up fake McCain. Gives it out to the wing. Proctor back outside. It goes to Roach now. Roach to the left wing. Lob to Filipowski. Filipowski got held up by Edwards, and that's foul number 2 by James Madison. Salvador Chavez, welcome back in, man. Thanks for joining back in. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. We're just getting started off with this one here. Duke gets the inbound in the corner. Pro hop inside. Akeem McCain off the glass, no good. A rebound pulled down by Noah Friedel for James Madison. James Madison down by 3. First 2 minutes of action so far. Xavier Brown at the free throw circle as Duke commits a reach and foul here. We're going to stop the clock with 17:58. Hey, what's good? Jay Ramirez, welcome back in. That's awesome. So, top 5 for him right now in the bracket challenge. Inbound goes to James Madison. James Madison drives inside the paint. Bounce pass right wing over to number 2, Raekwon Horton, coming off the bench for this game. That 3 comes up short. Missed off the front rim by Julian Wood. An offensive rebound as they try to dump it off. Got swiped away, though, off the steal by Duke. Mark Mitchell came up with a steal for the Blue Devils, trying to get it away. Puts the ball into the hands to Roach. Roach drives inside the paint, soars up, no good, missed it. Offensive rebound, Filipowski out of the pack. A sea of purple jerseys behind him, but he has position in front of the rim and dunks it down with a 2-handed flush. 7-2 now for Duke. Filipowski on the board. James Madison. Couple turnovers in the early going so far, trying to get back into their rhythm. Xavier Brown at the left elbow, dribbles up now. Brown stripped, pinwheels around, loose ball again, able to come down with it far side of the floor. Brown launches a 3 off the back of no good. Filipowski secures the defensive rebound. Excellent start for Duke here, controlling tempo. Tyrese Proctor dribbles up, free throw circle. Proctor back outside. Filipowski takes the 3, came up short. Offensive rebound back to Roach, outside to the top. Here's a 3 straight away, no good. Bricked off the back rim, missed by Proctor there. That goes back to James Madison. James Madison trailing by 5, looking for something here in the first 3.5 minutes plus. TJ Bickerstaff off the roll down underneath, guarded by Filipowski, and that's going to be a shooting foul picked up, charged to Filipowski on the floor. So this will send Bickerstaff to the free throw line, shooting 2 for JMU. Pair of free throws here by TJ Bickerstaff, a senior from Atlanta, Georgia. He's actually the nephew of JB, the head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He transferred over from Drexel and Boston College before he came to James Madison. First one's good. If you're new in the stream, make sure to keep on smashing that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams as well. Off to a good start in this one for Duke in the early going. Second free throw, got the bounce. So 3-point game right now. Yeah, that would be a really good matchup there. That Houston-Texas A&M matchup is going to be super physical tonight. Duke with a possession. Number 15, the first time on the floor with Ryan Young, the transfer from Northwestern. Pro hop jumper, mid-range for Duke. No good. Bounced off the rim. Missed by McCain. Tapped to the bounds. Last touch by James Madison. So it was number 22, Julian Wooden, who tried to come up with it, but lost it off his fingertips out of bounds last. This is going to be a Duke inbound here. Duke gets the inbound over to the top to Young. Sends it off to McCain. Back outside. They will dribble drive to the low block. Follow away jumper. Swoosh. Tyrese Proctor delivers on the 2 off the follow away. At the low right block is 9-4 Duke. Excellent start here for Duke, being aggressive in the early going. Bounce pass over to the top. Outside goes right corner for James Madison. Right baseline dribble. Wooden goes up. Missed the slam dunk. No call by the referees. Duke comes down with it. Up the floor, Duke pushing tempo. Proctor, head full of steam. Dump off down low. Over to Mitchell. Got blocked from behind. Still playable though. Mitchell underneath double team. Gets it away. Outside. Here's a 3. Got it. Jerry McCain buries down the triple. 12-4 for the Blue Devils. Excellent start for Duke right out of the gate in this game. James Madison's going to slow it down. Jerry McCain coming off a 15-point game in the opener against Vermont, top 12 recruits. As a first year from Corona, California. Down low off the pass and bad foul picked up there by Ryan Young as he completely got beat by his man down low. And this will stop the clock here. First media timeout on the floor as we are through the first 4 minutes and 50 seconds of action. 15-10 left to go in the first half, and Duke out to an excellent start. They lead 12-4. Efficient for Duke right out of the gate in this game. If you guys are doing the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. I cover basketball action, play-by-play, college hoops, and NBA games. This is going to be a fun one today. Already great balance by Duke. 4 different scores. 6 points by Jerry McCain. 2 each between Filipowski, Proctor, and Roach so far. And then 4 all coming by TJ Bickerstaff for James Madison. James Madison's only made 1 bucket so far today. They are 1 for 4 shooting. So whoever wins this game is going to take on the winner of Houston versus Texas A&M. That's a 1 versus 9 matchup later tonight. That's my final stream. I plan on covering around 8:40. Yeah, I was going through stats of that game. Houston has the #1 defense for field goal shooting percentage. Texas A&M has been putting up 80-plus points in the previous 5. They scored 90-plus points in the last 3. But the odd part about it is for Texas A&M is that they're bottom 10 in the nation in field goal shooting percentage. Just so random. Texas A&M's the #1 offensive rebounding team. Houston is top 5 in offensive rebounds. That's going to be a board crashing game right there. Yeah, sorry to hear there, Jay Ramirez. That Kansas team was like well off this year. Injury issues for them. They just had no depth for that Kansas squad this season. Purdue, though, on the other hand, holy smokes, Purdue shredded Utah State. 106-67, Purdue picked up the win in the last game today against Utah State. Zach Edey had 23 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. I mean, Purdue's on a mission. That Purdue-Gonzaga game next week is going to be great. Rudy, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Best of luck there. Taking Duke 6.5 for this one. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this game here, Duke or James Madison. We're around 20 subscribers away from 25,000, so if you guys would like to keep on coming back, make sure to smash that like, hit that like, make sure to hit the subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams as well. James Madison putting up 84 points per game this season on average. Duke is averaging 79.4 points per game. Both of these teams with massive scoring margins. Duke with a plus 12.4 scoring margin. James Madison with a plus 15 scoring margin. I think it speaks more to itself for Duke having a plus 12.4 because they're playing explosive offenses out of the ACC. James Madison is out of the Sun Belt where it's expected. If you're a 30-plus win team as a mid-major, as a 12 seed here, you got to be blowing out the competition in your conference. And James Madison, shockingly, two out of their 3 losses came against App State, both in conference play this season. They only had 3 losses total. The other one was against Southern Miss by 10. Their largest loss of the season. Quarter 3, that is good by Duke. From downtown, Jared McCain finding his stroke from the perimeter so far. Third made 3 by Duke. James Madison struggling. They've yet to make a 3 in this game at the corner. Noah Friedel, he backs his way, a transfer from South Dakota State. Friedel, get that out of there. Filipowski rejects Friedel. Kyle Filipowski came back for a reason, to run it back with his Duke squad. And right now looking really, really good. Duke is silencing a James Madison team that had a lot of hype coming into this game, just like they silenced Oral Roberts a year ago in that first round matchup. Inside, and the bucket's there. Raekwon Horton floats it up and in. As John Shire, I think he was looking for a charge, but Horton able to get the benefit of it and scored a bucket off the glass inside the key. Duke plus 2 on the offensive glass, and Duke able to keep the ball alive in the backcourt, got deflected, and this is going to be an over-the-back violation charged to Duke in the backcourt here, so that's a backcourt violation, so referees say that it wasn't deflected to past the midcourt logo by James Madison. It touched Duke and then went to the backcourt. That's a backcourt violation charged to Duke as James Madison gets the inbounds. We'll see if that backcourt violation starts to spark anything here for James Madison. At the right wing, Raekwon Horton. He just scored the last bucket. Passes down low over to Friedel. Half position. Couldn't finish, though, as Filipowski came up with a rebound. Up the floor goes Duke, attacking downhill with Roach. Outside to the top. A wide open 3 straight away. No good off the back rim. It was a brick by McCain. The rebound secured by Horton for James Madison. James Madison has it now. Driving inside the key, Michael Green. Bounce pass down low, and we got another Duke foul. This is going to send Jalen Carey, number 15, to the free throw line. Ooh, Roach is hurt. Yeah, Jeremy Roach is heading right towards the bench right now, being attended to as he's grabbing his lower left arm, looking like towards his wrist area. Let's see here. Roach, ooh, he got tangled up on his left wrist. Yeah, looking like his wrist. Jeremy Roach right now being attended to by the medical staff. This does not look good. Yikes. You gotta need him. So much experience at the point right there for Jeremy Roach, and he is being attended to right now by the medical staff. Looks like a left wrist injury for Roach. And devastating. This season, he is averaging 14 points, over 43% from 3, and almost 4 assists per game. First free throw is good for James Madison. If Duke somehow just blows this game away, I mean, that's a big turning point right now in the game. Both of the free throws, the first one was made, second one missed off the front rim. Duke by 7 with the basketball. Resiliency, that's going to be the key to the rest of the stretch for Duke here. Yesterday, their rival North Carolina trailed by 12 against Michigan State came back. And Roach, right now on the bench, looks like a pretty bad injury as we saw him grimacing with pain. Filipowski driving inside, and James Madison picks up another foul here. That's not on the shot. That's going to be on the floor, so that's number 3. So Proctor here will be the inbound passer. Proctor underneath. Lobs it off to Filipowski around the perimeter. Filipowski puts it out to the top of the key. McCain dribbles back edge of the March Madness logo over to Filipowski. 10 on the shot clock. Filipowski, top of the key. Filipowski backs his way free throw circle outside to the wing. Here's a 3 catch and fire. No good off the back rim. Missed by Jalen Blake's tipped around offensive rebound. Filipowski, McCain, open 3. Right down the chute, delivers. That's a pretty stroke right there. Jared McCain buries down the triple. 10-point lead for Duke. James Madison looking to get their offense started here. 10-2, second chance points in favor of Duke so far. In this one, Raekwon Horton down low, floats up the shot, he gets fouled. He was in between Sean Stewart and Filipowski. Proctor with an excellent start in this game. Yeah, this does not look good for Jeremy Roach right now, as he is in pain being treated on the bench still. First free throw by James Madison is good by Raekwon Horton. Hey, what's good? Downman McCrab, welcome back in, man. Yeah, that's a finger injury. I initially thought it was the wrist area, but it's actually the finger. So that is the finger that he's getting taped up right now for Jeremy Roach, who is on the bench. Second free throw missed. And that is a finger injury by Roach. Believe it's the 4 and the 5. Furthest one's away from the thumb that he was getting taped together there. 12-15 left to go in the first right now. Duke up by 9 as they take a step back three. They got another one. Wow, Tyrese Proctor able to go off the step back right there. Him and McCain having a great game right from the get-go. 21-9 Duke with 12 minutes left to go in the first. James Madison drops it off to the free throw circle. Spin move inside the key. Jalen Carey lost control of it. Here goes Duke up the floor at the quarter. Up fake Proctor outside. Here's a three. McCain. Oh, he hits it. Big time shot right there. McCain as he delivers as 24-9 Duke. And a timeout taken on the floor by James Madison. 11:46 left to go in the first, and Duke has been excellent this year from three, and they are making their shots right from the start. Proctor and McCain knocking down perimeter threes left and right, tossing up lasers, the flamethrowers out here in this one. 12 by McCain, 8 by Proctor. Those two guys have combined for all 6 made threes. 60% from 3 right now for Duke to start off this game. 53% total from the floor. 6 for 10 from the perimeter, 9 for 17 total. James Madison having a tough time finishing at the rim right now. 2 for 7, 0 for 2 from 3. Jen, thanks for joining in. Glad to have you back in. Daniel, welcome back in, man. An amazing start for Duke right now. TJ Bickerstaff's got 5 out of the 9 so far for James Madison. It's been shocking here that their top scorer, Terrence Edwards, has yet to even attempt a shot so far. Like, he's picked up 2 quick personal fouls, and he headed to the bench early. That was the issue with Utah State in the last game. Those guys got into quick foul trouble, and then the game just turned on them quick, and it's already turned on James Madison right now. Duke's picked up 5 fouls, but they spread it out around the whole team. Everybody's got 1, whereas James Madison, they have 3, but 2 of those to their star player, Terrence Edwards. And if he's not in the game, then they got to get something going, and that's right now been an issue. The Reaper, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Duke this year is like hiding under the radar for them. Yeah, the ACC this year, a lot of people didn't think that the ACC was that strong this season, and look how they're doing in the tournament. They keep on advancing teams in this tournament for the ACC. Yeah, this year it's more like chalk. A lot of chalk in the bracket. Basically just Kentucky and Auburn going out early. That was like the major upsets. Last couple years we've had crazy upsets. So it hasn't really been as much. We probably won't get a 1 seed to lose in this in the first weekend. Doesn't look likely right now because the top 2 ones play later tonight. UConn and Houston. Really doesn't look likely. Usually that's been a consistency thing that we've gotten at least like a 1 seed that's got taken out in the second round. Yeah, it's been interesting this year for the tournament. It's starting to become chalk right now for this tournament compared to what we thought, because we saw all the upsets that happened, and throughout the season there was I felt like there was more mid-major upsets than ever this year, back in games that were played in November and December. And I thought it would have been a wild tournament where you get in like 11 and 12 seeds pulling off upsets in that category. I thought the 5-6 seed range was as weak as it has ever been before the bracket. We come back to action right now. Lob down low. This was one of the 12 seeds that pulled off the upset with James Madison over Wisconsin, and now James Madison will head to the free throw line. But all these top seeds, they're taking care of business, and they're dominant in their games. So James Madison will head to the free throw line after we come up from the timeout. So they had taken a timeout prior, and now we take the under 12 media timeouts. So we take the timeout here. We just had a clock stoppage, like not even like a minute ago. So 11:30 left to go, as we'll have a timeout once again. Yeah, everything's been like the best seed winning in these second round games. Baylor going to take on Clemson, and I can picture Baylor winning that one there. Clemson had that loss against Boston College that they got bounced out early in the ACC tournament, but we'll see what happens there. The mid-pack Big 12 has really struggled in this tournament. All those teams got eliminated that like back-end top 25 grouping of Big 12 teams. BYU, Texas Tech. Texas was on the bubble more so than the top 25 this season for them. Kansas, that grouping of teams there, specifically Kansas, Texas Tech, and BYU, those three teams were like back-end top 25 teams, like 15 to 25 late in the season. Those teams all got eliminated. So Clemson's taking on Baylor at 6:10. Grand Canyon against Alabama at 7:10. That should be a good one right there. That's potential for an upset, considering that Grand Canyon loves to get downhill to the rim, put you in foul trouble. Alabama picks up a bunch of fouls. If Alabama struggles with their interior defense, then there's an upset right there with a 12 over a 4. Northwestern against UConn, that's hard to imagine that Northwestern will be able to pull that off, but we'll see what happens there. That game is out in Brooklyn too. It's basically a home game for UConn. Texas A&M against Houston. And both of those matchups are interesting, I feel like, because Northwestern struggles to rebound, so that's the big area where UConn should be able to thrive tonight, is crushing Northwestern on the glass. The other game that I'm streaming later tonight, Texas A&M and Houston. Texas A&M's number one in rebounding this season. Like, they number one in offensive rebounds too. That's what they rely upon. If Houston does what they do, which is crash the glass and come up with rebounds, then it's going to be real difficult for Texas A&M, because Texas A&M is bottom 10 in the nation in field goal shooting percentage. Wow, Shohei Ohtani's going to address the media on Monday. Thanks for the update, Jeffrey. Jackson on the stream, welcome in. He's taking Duke in this one. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here, Duke or James Madison. And then Yale's taking on San Diego State in the late game tonight at 9:40. (24-9) blowouts right from the start here. James Madison at the free throw line. Yikes. First one barely even grazed the rim. Hey, this number 15 on James Madison cannot hit free throws. Jalen Carey is a freshman, averaging 7 points per game. First one was a terrible miss. Second one spun around the rim and out. So they go empty that trip for JNU. Duke with the ball, 11.5 left to go as we come back to action. And Jeremy Roach is back out there. So he got injured in the first 4 minutes of the game, had to have his fingers taped. And Jeremy Roach, their point guard, is back out on the floor for Duke. Proctor at the wing, dribbles up inside the key. Proctor, tough shot, tried to go for a circus type of shot, missed the mark. And James Madison came up with the basketball. Up the floor with Bickerstaff. TJ Bickerstaff, the nephew of head coach JB for Cleveland. That's Terrence Edwards, who got into early foul trouble but took it right to the rim, and he scores for 2. 24-11 right now. Proctor, McCain carrying the team for Duke. They've combined for 6 made threes. They have 20 points out of the 24 total. Filipowski, top of the key. Into the hands to Proctor. Proctor with 12 on the shot clock towards his right. Sends it off to McCain. McCain at the right wing. Working one-on-one on Edwards. McCain outside of Roach. Catch and fire three. Roach off the back rim. No good. Rebound secure by Xavier Brown. James Madison with possession. Under 10.5 left to go here before halftime. Bounce pass down low. Carry over. Filipowski. He scores up and off the backboard. A little bit of momentum right now for James Madison. Down by 11 currently. 4-zip run for the Dukes of James Madison. Going up against Duke and the Blue Devils. Top of the key. Mark Mitchell towards his left. Sends it over to Proctor. Proctor back out to the top here. Filipowski. Filipowski finds Roach. Roach turns the corner. Drives open. 15-footer. No good. Skipped around the rim and out. James Madison came up with a defensive rebound. Chance to pull with a 9 here. 8 if they make this next bucket. Terrence Edwards, the player of the year out in the Sun Belt. Edwards dribbles towards his left. Guarded at the top by Filipowski, 101. Edwards working on Filipowski. Thought about a step back. Gives it out to the wing. Horton, bounce pass down to the low block. James Madison with now 8 on the shot clock. Double team inside. Outside, it will go to the corner. Up fake, 3 in the shot clock. Edwards, step back 3 in the air. Over Filipowski, no good. The rebound pulled down by Mitchell. Tough shot right there with the shot clock winding down as he had a 1-on-1. Guarded by a 7-footer in the corner for the perimeter. Duke will slow it down. Excellent start here so far today by Duke. McCain dribbles up to the elbow. Back outside, finds Filipowski. Hand off McCain. McCain dribbles, drives to the rim, drops it in with a right-hand layup for Jared McCain. 26-13. A freshman right now. He is balling out on the floor. Top 12 recruits. Averaging 13.5 this season. He has already got, so far, 12. Up to now 14. He just scored the last bucket as it updates. That is now 14 points by McCain, already surpassing his season average. James Madison was open. Instead, they elected not to take the open 3. Down to 5 in the shot clock. A lot of dribbling by Edwards here. Edwards at the elbow. Edwards towards his left. Floats up the runner. No good. Bricked it off the back rim as he goes down. He's out of the play. 5-on-4 here for Duke. Up the floor. Roach outside finds McCain. Lobs it down low. Mitchell. Up fake underneath. Mitchell got rejected by the bottom part of the rim. And it goes right back over to James Madison. James Madison lucky. Edwards, Euro step to the rim. He scores the layup. These guys are falling down, and they're having a lot of difficulty getting back up on the opposite side of the floor. We're down to 8 minutes left to go before half. Another quick first half so far. Duke's going to slow down tempo. McCain sends it out on top. Filipowski passes out left wing perimeter over to McCain once again. McCain dribbles up to the elbow. Bounce pass underneath. Finds Filipowski, and he throws it down with a two-handed flush. That's too easy. Nobody there to defend Filipowski. Filipowski now with 4. Second made field goal today. He had 3 against Vermont. That is a season low, what he had against Vermont. But Duke's perimeter guys really stepping up their game. Here's a 3 taken by a big man. That's not his shot there. Number 15 for James Madison. The dude that was missing free throws off the front rim just bricked the 3 off the back rim with Jalen Carey as Duke came up with a rebound. James Madison tossing up Boulder so far from the perimeter. 0 for 4 in this game. Duke is 6 for 11, looking for number 7. Oh, they got it! Jared McCain. He is a laser thrower out there, knocking it down. 31-15 Duke. Flame after flame. Knocking it down left and right as James Madison gets the layup. 31-17 now. McCain's got 17 with under 7 left to go before halftime. He averages 13.5. McCain with the basketball. Towards his left here. McCain at the elbow. Gives it outside Filipowski. And clock will stop here on the floor. So 31-17. Filipowski with a massive dunk. And Jared McCain. Nasty step back straight away. Everything going Duke's way right now. And this one by 14. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams. It was a foul picked up on the floor, charged to Xavier Brown away from the basketball, picked up by James Madison on the last play. So we're going to go to the timeout. Whoopsie, my camera once again froze. So I'm going to just see if I can get this camera back. Sorry for you guys right now. I'm just going to see if I can stop it for a couple of seconds and get the camera back. For some reason, it's having camera issues with my camera for some reason for today, so I'm just going to stop this right now. Alright, there we go. We got it back up. Thanks all for patiently waiting. Yeah, for some reason, my camera it's froze a couple of times. It's like 5 years old, so hopefully it's not like going out or anything. Been having some trouble trying to get the source down, but we should be good right now. So we are back live. 31-17 Duke. Yeah, I noticed that when I started the stream, for some reason the camera didn't want to work when I first started the stream. McCain's got 17 right now. James Madison as a team has 17 total. And him as an individual player for Duke's got 17 himself. He's perfect from 3. 5 for 5 from the perimeter. 6 for 8 shooting from the floor so far for Jared McCain. What an incredible game by him to begin today. Yeah, I'm shocked right now that this has been just a really lopsided game so far here. So 31-17, 14 field goal attempts by James Madison. Duke's made 12 field goals. Duke's just out hustling James Madison big time on the glass. 15-9 total rebounds in favor of Duke. 5-2 offensive rebounds. James Madison's yet to make a 3 so far today. Tough start for James Madison here. Yeah, they get that graphic right now. 17 points by McCain, 17 total on the board for James Madison. We come back from the timeout. Duke with possession. McCain running the point. Right now, it's off to Proctor. Now McCain at the top. Up fake. McCain slices defenders. McCain to the rim. No good. Got knocked down. He got fouled out. And this will be 2 more covered up at the free throw line for McCain as he's looking for 19. He'll shoot 2. Got 6:26 left to go before halftime. Jared McCain averaging 13.5 per game this season. Got 17 so far in this first half. 2 free throws. First one's good. He's got 18. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Second free throw is good by McCain. Keeps on building up his number. 19 points in half one. Remarkable what he has done so far. And James Madison without an answer so far on the floor today to defend Jared McCain for Duke. Lob over the top. They caught it, but Duke with great position. Down low defensively. The shot missed off the mark. Tipped around. Battle for the rebound. Who's got it? Out of the packet goes to Duke with Proctor here up the floor. Proctor sends it off to Mitchell. Outside McCain. McCain dribbles up. Drives inside the lane. A kick out right wing. Here's a 3. No good. Skidded off the rim. Missed off the mark by Proctor. Battle for the rebound. Who's got it? Out of bounds. Last touch by James Madison. So this is going to stay Duke basketball right now. What a struggle so far today by James Madison. Duke gets the inbound at the short baseline. Duke inside a key. Roach with possession. He scores. Up and in off the glass. Good for 2. 35-17 Duke. These have been non-competitive games with Power 5s going up against mid-majors. Duke picks up the reach-in foul. Purdue shredded Utah State in the last one. And now this game, right from the start, has been all Duke. That's Duke's 7th personal foul, though, so this will send James Madison to the free throw line to shoot in the 1-on-1 bonus. It's been a nightmare so far in this game for James Madison. They're shooting 50% at the free throw line, 5 for 10 as a team currently in this game. It's been all about efficiency this season for James Madison, too. top 50 in the nation in three-point shooting, a 2-point shooting, and field goal shooting percentage. And tonight, well off the mark. Noah Friedel missed off the back rim, and the rebound secured by Duke. They are now 5 for 11 at the free throw line. Duke with a possession. They're going to slow it down. McCain having the game of his life out there. Bounce pass goes to Young. Young at the top of the key. Puts the ball into the hands to McCain once again. McCain almost lost it, lost his footing, tumbles down, gets back up though. Roach has it. Shot clock's down to 8. Roach towards his right, at the right wing perimeter. Shot clock's down to 4. Roach drives inside, dump off to the left wing. Here's a 3, missed off the mark by Proctor. Offensive rebound underneath Young off the up fake, goes up, gets fouled. And 2 shots will be coming up at the free throw line here for Duke with Ryan Young. 5:06 now left to go before halftime. Ryan Young will shoot 2 shots here. First one's good. Wow, this game is a total just demolition right now. 36-17. James Madison was not ready for this game on 1 day of rest. Second shots, no good, bricked off the back rim, a rebound ripped away by James Madison and went to number 1 for the Dukes win, Noah Friedel. James Madison with possession. Handoff around the perimeter, goes to Xavier Brown. Brown had a big game in that Sun Belt Championship game against Arkansas State. Bounce pass underneath, they tried to go for a reverse hand layup, and there was contact there as Bickerstaff will head to the free throw line, shoot 2 shots. Hey, what's good? Yusuf on the street. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. 2 free throws coming up now for James Madison. TJ Bickerstaff, 5 points for him today. First free throw is up. First free throw is good. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure to ring that notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams in the channel. And, wow. Excellent start today in this game by Duke. Taking this one out in full force in the early going. Second free throw is good by Bickerstaff. 36-19 with 4:45 left to play before half. The Bickerstaff family in attendance. TJ, who's on James Madison's squad, is the nephew of JB, the head coach for Cleveland. Filipowski powers his way inside and kiss off the glasses. He scores up and in off the backboard. 38-19 now. Under 4.5 left to go. Filipowski had just 3 in the opening round against Vermont. He's got that double in the first half, up to 6 now and 3 for 4 shooting. Friedel attacking inside the paint. Bounce pass shot at thread the needle. Tipped away. Intercepted in the key by Duke. Up the floor it goes to Roach. Roach in the outside, puts the ball on top. Filipowski back over to Roach again at the March Madness logo. Roach off the roll down, finds Filipowski. Filipowski off the ball fake. They let him continue with the buckets. 40-19 right now for Duke. I think he got away with one right there. That looks certainly like a travel as he went off a pivot and then he went up and leans. But they're going to give him the bucket there off the jump stop by Filipowski, says the referees. 4:02 left to go. James Madison just burned a timeout right ahead of the 4-minute media break. So we're down to 4:02 left to go before halftime here. James Madison down to just 2 timeouts right now. 19 by McCain as he was a flamethrower early on in this game. 19 for him, 8 each now between Filipowski and Proctor. They're just shredding James Madison's defense. 52%, knocking down threes and getting to the rim, and this game is getting real ugly. What a clinic out here by Duke. All the basketball schools are advancing in this tournament. That's the... We all thought there were going to be crazy upsets this tournament. Certainly I thought so because we saw like... It had to be a record amount of mid-majors upsetting teams in the non-conference slate this season. Kentucky lost against UNC Wilmington. They lost to Auburn, lost against App State. which James Madison lost to twice. Mississippi State lost against Southern. There are a bunch of upsets, mid-majors upsetting Power 5 schools. A bunch from the Pac-12, with Pac-12 teams losing the Big West teams. USC lost against Long Beach State. Notre Dame lost to a couple of mid-major schools in the non-conference slates. And then, of course, you had other teams like DePaul and Georgetown, which constantly lost against mid-majors as well, but didn't really see as many of these upsets now in this tournament. It's been all the basketball schools advancing. You see how the bracket's set up for the Sweet 16. Gonzaga against Purdue. That's going to be a good matchup. North Carolina advancing. Illinois against Iowa State in the Sweet 16 matchup. Arizona. All the historic basketball schools, basically, besides Kentucky, which got left out. Gonzaga versus Purdue. NC State versus Marquette. Creighton against Tennessee. These are all great basketball teams in the regular season that all of them this year, the postseason, they're coming through with success in this tournament. And Duke is knocking on the doorstep, about to be in the Sweet 16 club with them. Yeah, so it's been a while. Duke lost against Lehigh and Mercer last decade. Yeah, Duke's starting to go away with a one-and-done process, though. Unlike Kentucky, because Roach has been there for ages for Duke. As we come back from the timeout, James Madison with the ball. Filipowski decided to come back for sophomore year to run it back. He just blocked the shot. And James Madison, they put one up now. They're going to count it or no. But the referees here, I don't think they will. So it's going to stay 40-19. Filipowski blocked the first shot by Edwards. Then never touched the rim. That's going to be on Filipowski, though, for a foul. Yeah, super wide open. Like, it's still super wide open. Like, NC State's going to go in as the lowest seed, it looks like. Unless Grand Canyon pulls off the upset against Alabama. Honestly, it will not be shocked right there. Terrence Edwards just missed the first free throw at the line for James Madison. Gonna have the second one here, and he makes it. Duke is doubling up James Madison. Hey, what's good? Coach Jackson on the stream. Welcome in. 3:40 left to play before half, and this game is dominated by the Blue Devils. White and blue on the floor, not the Dukes of James Madison. With the explosiveness, clear pathway, throwing it down with a right-handed flush by Mark Mitchell. 42-20. Nobody there to defend Mitchell as he had a wide open lane to dunk it down. Julian Wooden has that the wing for James Madison. Puts the ball into the hands to Horton on top. Bickerstaff, handoff, Friedel takes the three. Friedel got the three. 42-23 right now. 3 minutes left to go before half. In the backcourt, they got some pressure defense going on for James Madison, but Duke able to evade that. Now they attack down low, and they will draw the shooting foul. So 2 free throws coming up now for Duke with Jalen Blakes. James Madison started to pressure Duke, but Duke just so good at ball handling. Top 20 in the nation this season, the fewest turnovers per game. It's going to be tough to generate any against this team. Yeah, I like UConn in that game. I just think UConn's going to pound Northwestern tonight on the glass. First free throw is good. James Wooden now with 3 fouls. They got into deep foul trouble. James Madison got into deep foul trouble. Blakes checks out of the game after he made the first 2 free throws. 2 personal fouls by Terrence Edwards, the star player for the team. He got into early foul trouble. And once that happened, it really took this team out of rhythm. A missed jumper for a deep 2 for James Madison. Duke with the rebound. Duke's going to slow it down. 2.5 now left to go before halftime. Duke silenced Oral Roberts a year ago in the first rounds. And another team with a great record, but weak schedule, getting shredded in this one. And that's Jared McCain having a game of his life out there as he makes another three. 47-23 Duke. He's got 22 points. He's 1 point shy from tying James Madison himself in the first half. 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Pro hop, jumper, low block, missed off the mark, no good by Bickerstaff for James Madison. Duke here with the ball up the floor. Proctor, he's going to slow it down. Final 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Proctor, guarded by Noah Friedel. Edge of the March Madness logo now. 15 on the shot clock. Gives it off to Ryan Young. Young with 10 on the shot clock, top of the key. Young. Hand off over to McCain. McCain can pass. James Madison has a team with the next bucket. Instead, they go to Young outside. Touch pass in the corner. Here's an open three. Missed off the mark. No good by Proctor. Great extra pass there by Roach, though. James Madison with possession. 1.5 left to go before halftime. Bickerstaff. Back to Edwards at the top of the key. Bounce pass goes to Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff working one-on-one on Proctor. Bickerstaff try to walk the tightrope right there off the dribble. Lost the handle, turn it over. And Duke comes up with a steal, and there's going to be some more time that comes off the clock right now. Final minute left to go before half. Duke will burn a timeout, though, just above a minute. 1:06 left to play. Duke will take the timeout. And this is just a total annihilation here. Duke is destroying James Madison. Young Papio, welcome on the stream. Thanks for joining back in. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live stream. Jared McCain's got 22 points right now. 23 as a team for James Madison. The top scorer for James Madison's TJ Bickerstaff with 7. Filipowski and Proctor both with 8 for Duke. McCain's having the game of his life. Perfect 6 for 6 from 3, 7 for 9 from the floor. He's made 6 out of the 8 threes. They're 8 for 16 as a team from the perimeter. James Madison is 1 for 6. 6 made 3-point shots today. That's a Duke NCAA tournament freshman record. That passes J.J. Redick and Trey Jones at Duke for Jared McCain. What a phenomenal game by him. 47-23. Final minute left to go before half as we get back to action. Proctor with the ball. 10 in the shot clock, 53 on the game clock. Proctor dribbles up, drives downhill to the rim. His pass got intercepted. Inside the key, here goes James Madison as they will take it in transition. They scored a layup. Noah Friedel makes the 2. That's a little bit of momentum there for James Madison. Obviously, Duke's going to have another opportunity to see if they can score a bucket, but if you can get a stop here for James Madison, and you would need another bucket. It gives you some sort of momentum, but you're down by a bunch. Very tough to come on back in this game. Duke's going to slow it down. McCain, 10 in the shot clock, 19 in the game clock right now. McCain, towards his left. McCain takes the 3. Off the back rim, no good. A rebound secured by James Madison. They can run with an outlet pass, and they missed it. Turnover. Too strong at the outlet right there for James Madison. Big mistake. 8.5 seconds left, and Duke will have the final shot before halftime. Inbound for Duke. Proctor dribbles up. Kick out to the wing. Deflected out of bounds with 1.7. So this will be a final opportunity now for Duke with 1.7 seconds left to go. And this will be McCain, who will be the inbound passer. So McCain in the front court quarters. James Madison will have a substitution. Number 22 comes in for James Madison with Julian Wooden to defend the inbounds. And now Proctor will be the inbound passer. McCain's got 22. If he makes this shot, he would have 25. Let's see who they get here. They'll give it over to McCain. Laces up the 3 at the buzzer, and no good. Off the glass, too strong. We go into halftime, and it's all Duke. 47-25, Duke. Up by 22 at the half against the 32-3 James Madison Dukes. What a statement here for the Blue Devils in the first half. Holy smokes. Alright, so we go into halftime. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you'd like to be notified for future live streams, feel free to ring that notification bell. And what a start for Duke. In the first half of action, 47-25. Yeah, really, really good first half for Duke here. The ACC has been representing extremely well in this tournament. ACC has done amazing. That was another thing. I think it was 2021 and 2022. People were complaining about the ACC 2-3 years ago, and they went on a run in the tournament. Once again, it's happening this year. It looks like ACC and Big East is looking solid in this bracket. Clemson against Baylor will tip off any minute from now, so I'll update you guys on that game since we go into halftime here. We'll be at halftime for a while. They have like lengthy halftimes in the NCAA tournaments. Yeah, Big East and ACC are just dominating so far these tournament games. Disappointment in the Big 12. I knew this year that most of those teams in the Big 12 took a step down this season compared to where they were last year. Texas, TCU, Texas Tech took a big step up, but they did not compete against NC State. Kansas took a major step down for them. Baylor with a chance to prove themselves and help out the Big 12's cause in this game against Clemson. Major game tipping off in just a moment between Clemson versus Baylor. I'll be back later tonight as well covering Houston against Texas A&M. So if you guys would like to join in for that stream, feel free to do so. That should be a fun one. Both of those teams are separated by 95 miles approximately between Houston and Texas A&M. These SEC schools are just trying to hang in there in the bracket right now. Alabama's taking on Grand Canyon. Texas A&M's taking on Houston. Tennessee, that was a awful game yesterday there. Tennessee barely survived against Texas. That was an awful, awful game. Tennessee was tossing up bricks, and they barely got past Texas. And there were, I think, like 29 combined turnovers yesterday in that game. Texas had 17 out of the 29. Yeah, well, Marquette got over the hump this year. They got to the Sweet 16, and Creighton got to the Sweet 16 as well. And Creighton was 1 point away last year to going to the Final Four for them. So they got just 3 bids. Realistically, they should have got 6 with St. John's, Seton Hall, and Providence. But both Creighton and Marquette representing the Big East in the Sweet 16 too. Clemson versus Baylor just tipped off, so I'll give you guys updates here since we're at halftime. Baylor coming off a massive win over Colgate, 92-67 in the first round. They're top 10 in the nation in three-point shooting percentage. Got a lot of good backcourt guys in this team for Baylor. Clemson more front-court based, led by P.J. Hall in his senior season. Number 24 for the Tigers. Hall, though, couldn't get the bucket down low right there. They're looking for their first Sweet 16 appearance since 2018 for Clemson. Baylor not finding their stroke in the first minute, though. They missed a deep 2 open. Joe Girard, he's got a bunch of playing experience for him. He took over the tournament as an 11 seed at Syracuse 3 years ago. Though Clemson is on the board first with a made 3. Randy on the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. So Clemson leads Baylor in the first minute 15, 3-0 right now. Yeah, I did not take Clemson in the first round. I thought New Mexico was going to pull off that upset in round 1. Wow, Baylor, yeah, they get so much consistency. They're the only team to be a 3 seed or better in the previous 4 straight NCAA tournaments for Baylor. Just so much consistency for them. It's just, they had a national championship year in 2021. Just after that, it's just their defense, because they had all dogs on that team. They were super deep for Baylor the year that they won the national championship. It's just the interior defense has been a major issue like the last 3 years for them. They had a lot of injuries when they were a 1 seed back in 22. Last year they had a bunch of holes defensively down low. And the same things this season for them. Great 3-point shooting team, just a bunch of issues with their inside defense. Huge block there by Baylor, though. They're getting something on the number 21, Yves Missy. He's a freshman, so if they're able to develop these big men, and because he's athletic, he's got a good chance to be terrific throughout his entire Baylor career for him. They got a lot of young guys. They'll probably have a couple get sent over to the draft, though, for Baylor, but, I mean, these big men, if they keep them around for Baylor, they're going to be super dangerous in the future. Layup made backdoor there for Clemson. Clemson leads 7-5 right now against Baylor in the first 3.5 minutes plus. Baylor can't find their stroke from 3. They bricked the 3. They touched it last out of bounds, too. So Clemson has a lead right now, 7-5 over Baylor. The Big 12's been a major disappointment this year. They took a big step down conference-wise this season. I feel like there's major tiers in that conference. At the top is Houston and Iowa State. And then there's some big-time separation between those two at the top, and then Baylor in third. And then after that, there's a major gap between Baylor and then a large grouping of teams that got bounced out from the bracket early. Kansas, BYU, Texas, Texas Tech, TCU. Those teams just weren't ever up to par to where Houston, Iowa State were, and then even Baylor. And then, of course, over in the SEC, they put in Mississippi State, who had an 8-10 conference record and had a worse conference record than LSU. Yet they got put into the bracket, too. So if you guys are new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams here on the channel. And right now we're just at halftime. If anybody's interested, feel free to join in on my Second Chance Bracket Challenge group. The link is out in the chat if anybody's interested that they would like to do that. You guys are all welcome to do so. That's put out there for anybody who is interested. But the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge Second Chance Group. Yeah, this has been a disappointing game today. James Madison just with 25 at half. Yeah, like the Big East has a free pass basically with DePaul in the conference, where that game's a layup for everybody. DePaul and Georgetown. Um, Much tougher in the Big 12. UCF picked up wins over teams this year. Picked up a win over Kansas, was one of them. West Virginia had wins over a couple teams too. Oklahoma State. Yeah, over in the SEC, Vanderbilt. They actually beat Florida late stretch of the season. Hey, what's good, Arku? He's feeling good about this one. He took Duke. Yeah, they are rolling right now. Baylor's looking to get back to the Sweet 16. Ever since that title year that they won the national championship 3 years ago, they haven't reached the Sweet 16 ever since. They got upset the year after the title in the second round against North Carolina. They were the 1 seed in that tournament too. They came into the bracket dealing with severe injuries, and North Carolina beat them as the 8 seed, and then UNC made a run all the way to the national championship game in 22 against Kansas. Then last year, they got bounced out in the second round for Baylor. Clemson's got a 2-point lead right now, though, 7-5. Grand Canyon's tipping off against Alabama at around 7:45, so that'll be later, or at 7:10. And then 7:45 is Northwestern versus UConn. Texas A&M will take on Houston around 8:40. The final game is Yale taking on San Diego State. Clemson just made a 3, so it's 10-5 for Clemson. Thanks all for patiently waiting still at halftime here. Quite a lengthier halftime that we have in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, they should they're playing Yale tonight. They're favorited like they should be in that game for San Diego State. They need that one. The Mountain West is having a lot of issues in the tournament, so they really need to take that one for San Diego State today. Here comes Baylor starting to make their shots, 15-12. Clemson with a 3-point lead. Yeah, it's either going to be San Diego State against UConn or Yale, unless UConn loses to Northwestern. Let's see. John Polakidis, he was the top scorer for Yale. I wasn't watching that game, but he must have been the one. He made 6 threes in that game for Yale. So he must have been the one who was, like, been the lefty there that was drilling shots, if I would have had to guess. Yeah, must have been him, because he went off. He had 28. Just way too many fouls. That was the issue for Auburn. They picked up 25 total fouls. That was like their big issue for them this year. Alabama's had that issue too this season. See, whenever I cover the SEC games, there's always like a combined like 40, 45, 50 fouls, and this has been going on for like the last like 2-3 years. Whenever I've streamed these games, we start off at either 7 or 9 o'clock at night, and we finish like 3 hours later. Like a 7 o'clock game will take till 10 o'clock at night for an SEC game to finish up during the regular season, or a 9 o'clock game will finish like around midnight for an SEC game. Like, just the lack of discipline that happens in those games. Like, when I covered the SEC championship, Auburn against Florida, there was still 12 minutes left to go in that game when Duquesne and VCU had just about wrapped up. That's how long those SEC games drag on for. Yeah, this is so wide open. That Gonzaga versus Purdue game is going to be incredible. These are all like historic basketball programs, basically, for the most part, that's in this Sweet 16. North Carolina, Arizona, Illinois, Iowa State's in there facing Illinois. Like, teams that's been great for decades for regular season records. Iowa State's in that grouping there. Illinois was great as a program back in the early 2000s and mid-2000s for Illinois. And UNC and Arizona usually have always been, like, excellent programs. There was a couple years that it wasn't so strong in Arizona, late 2010s. But they have turned it around since Tommy Lloyd has been there. Marquette. NC State usually has had a great program. Like, I'm thinking about, like, 2000s. They were always good, too. Back in the 2000s, like 20 years ago for NC State. Gonzaga, just a model consistency. Gonzaga, Purdue, Tennessee, Creighton. Like, these are all great teams that's been just consistent regular season wise for a while now. NC State, what a story they have been this year. These are going to be some great matchups because, like, last couple of years we've gotten just random teams that nobody would have thought would have had a chance making it to like the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, and this year it's been more just like the popular basketball schools that we know, that's all like basketball U, that thrive upon basketball. These are the ones that are making it in, and that's been the case here for this tournament. It's been more chalk than like upsets. $47-25. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And Jared McCain's been the story of this game. Flamethrower from the perimeter, 22 points, 6 made threes, 7 for 11. Shooting from the floor by McCain. Just been incredible how he's been today. Yeah, doing my best, Mario. I'm trying to like not move the table as much because my camera has, for the video camera, for some reason it's gone on and off a couple of times, so I'm trying to not move that off because if I move it, it might like slip down a quarter. So as we come back to action, James Madison missed 2 shots in their first possession as Duke has the basketball here. McCain take a pass midcourt now for Duke. Proctor puts the ball into the hands to Filipowski. Filipowski top of the key. McCain coming off around the screen and receives it outside. It goes into the hands to Roach. Roach towards the right around the perimeter. Pass off the roll down. Filipowski. His pass gets deflected and intercepted here by James Madison. James Madison has it up the floor. Spin cycle down low. And they'll float up the shot. They got it to go. Good for 2 by Terrence Edwards. 47-27 right now. They're going to need him to get as much as possible to have any sort of comeback. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first 6 minutes for Terrence Edwards. The conference player of the year in the Sun Belt had to take a seat on the bench, and this game got real out of hand quickly. Duke has the possession. Quarter 3 in the air. They got another one. Jared McCain, he just keeps on tossing it up, and it keeps on flaming right into the cylinder. 50-27, 7th made 3 to game for McCain. Jumper mid-range off the rim short, no good, missed by James Madison. McCain's got 25 right now at the moment. That is now 8 for 12 shooting from the floor, 7 for 9 from three-point range. Top of the key, Proctor. Sends it outside to the wing over to Roach. Roach at the left wing, slowing down. Clock 10 in the shot clock. Roach crossover. And away from the basketball, Filipowski got tied up here with one of the JMU defenders as we had to stop the clock. This ball movement today has just been excellent for Duke, how they've been passing around the basketball. Clemson is leading Baylor right now, 22-16. Inbound for Filipowski. Filipowski at the elbow. Filipowski drives to the low block. Filipowski off the pivot. Turnaround shot. Filipowski no good. Rolled around the rim and out to rebound secured here for James Madison. James Madison down to 18 minutes left to go. They gotta go offensively. Edwards sends it out to the right wing perimeter. Bounce pass now to number 3, TJ Bickerstaff. He backs his way at the low block. Moves it off the free throw off his fingertips. Tried to come up with it and he couldn't. It's another turnover by James Madison. Duke with just 3 turnovers. James Madison went out 7. 27 points as a team. 25 by McCain as an individual. Roach, bounce pass to the cutter. Filipowski, he scores up and off the backboard. +1 coming up in the free throw line. This is all Duke here, folks. Nice backdoor cut by Filipowski. Roach with a vision. Just drops it down off the bounce pass and 1. Great for Indiana State right there, man. That's awesome. I hope that Indiana State goes out and wins the NIT. So they should have been in the tournament for them. Filipowski today with 10, averaging 16.7. Came back to Duke to run it back for this season. The free throw. Got the bounce. It's good. Man, they are just annihilating JMU right now in this game. The Duke Blue Devils are crushing the Dukes of James Madison. Largest lead today. 17.5 left to go. James Madison with a possession. Terrence Edwards. Top of the key, guarded by Filipowski. Edwards drives inside the paint. Edwards no good off the glass. He got fouled though. So they're going to give that one to Filipowski as the clock will stop with 17. It's actually 17-17. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure to ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams as well on the channel. Terrence Edwards Jr., 7 points, 3 for 6 from the floor today. The top scorer of the team, averaging above 18. Sunbelt Player of the Year. First one's good. Filipowski picked up his third. He's going to stay out there on the floor, though, right now for Filipowski. 2 each between Stewart and Young off the bench, but Filipowski, the only starter that's in deep foul trouble. 2 personal fouls by Wooden and Edwards for James Madison. Edwards picked up 2 fouls early on, and that really just took his team out of the game. Edwards makes half of the free throws, 53-29 right now. Roach up the floor. Drives, attacks inside the paint with a right hand. Easy with a layup. Just making it look so easy out there. Jeremy Roach. 17 minutes left to go. Duke blowing off the doors at James Madison right now. Pocket pass got intercepted. Mark Mitchell with a steal. They got a 2-on-1 in transition. Try to throw it down with Mitchell, and he went up and he got fouled. 2 shots covered up at the line here. He was skying high. He got fouled by Noah Friedel. Number 1. And off the inbound, Duke. Oh, wow. They did not call it a shooting foul. Duke just buried the 3 plus the foul. Major. The outside, that is Tyrese Proctor and 1. I thought that should have been a shooting foul on the last dunk. They called it in transition before for the refs. So Proctor's up to 11. Just made his 3rd 3 in the night just a moment to go off the inbound. Yeah, the camera wasn't even pinpointed on that inbound. Missed the free throw by Proctor, though, as James Madison collects the defensive board. 29-point lead right now. Spin cycle, jumper, swoosh for James Madison. 58-31. Duke will slow down the possession. The last game and then this game, I mean, what a pounding. Purdue pounding Utah State, and then Duke pounding James Madison. Just these power conference schools going up against mid-majors in the second round. Just no match for the mid-major. Corner 3 missed off the rim by Duke. This was not the story over a decade ago. I remember Kansas was the 1 seed in northern Iowa with Ally Ferokmanish, the shot, upset Kansas in the first round. And Kansas was the overall number 1 seed that year. Nobody thought that Kansas would have lost, but these mid-majors have fallen short in round 2. Step back, Jay. Good for JMU. All right, they're finding something right now for James Madison. Second made 3 of the game. Duke has put up 5 times as many threes that they've recorded instead of James Madison. Duke's made 10. Entry pass, turnover. There's Filipowski, couldn't corral it. Edwards has it up the floor for James Madison. Edwards at the left wing perimeter. He's defended 1-on-1 by McCain. Edwards, pass off the roll down underneath. That pass gets deflected, intercepted right by Duke once again. The Blue Devils going to slow it down as they were able to convert on the interception. Tyrese Proctor crosses the midcourt logo right now. 9 turnovers by James Madison, just 4 by Duke this entire game. Proctor puts the ball into the hands of Filipowski. Outside it goes to the left wing to Roach. Roach at the wing, guarded 1-on-1 by Raekwon Horton. Off to the middle, Mitchell floats it up over the top, over to Filipowski. Off the roll down, who cashes it home into the glass for 2. Nobody able to match up with Kyle Filipowski in this game for James Madison. 13 now with 5 rebounds for Filipowski. Spin move downhill to the rim. There goes Edwards as he scores the layup. 60 to 36 right now with under 15 left to play. Edwards got 13. Duke has possession, slowing down tempo with Proctor. Duke just silencing another mid-major team with an excellent record. They did that a year ago against Oral Roberts in round 1, and Roach drove baseline as he got fouled. Yeah, it's been over a decade since Duke has lost to, like, a mid-major in the tournament. Lehigh. Been a long time. Lehigh and Mercer, that's been a decade ago, was the Mercer one that they lost to in the first round. 60-36 now the score as we take the timeout on the floor. And what a blowout here. Duke just came in right from the start, drilling threes and never looked back. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams I cover in the channel. One more stream later tonight. It will be Houston versus Texas A&M, so feel free to join in if you guys would like for that one. If anybody's interested, feel free to join the Second Chance Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group. The link is pinned in the chat. All are welcome to fill out a Second Chance bracket if anybody is interested in doing so. Yeah, the NIT is, like, for teams that's not dealing with any injuries or anything, that want to, like, take it seriously and have their players, like, get into a rhythm with each other and build chemistry for next year. That could be a good opportunity to do so for, like, a springboard to next year for probably, like, some of the smaller schools, I would say, for them, because if you're a Power 5 in the NIT, you're probably struggling maybe with injuries if your guys have been battling some injuries or so throughout the course of the season, playing just high minutes or just more like superior class basketball. But I think it was Oregon from a few years ago that, see, I don't follow the NIT, so I don't know if they won. I think they went real far that year in the NIT from a couple of years ago for Oregon, and they built chemistry along with each other for that team. Yeah, North Texas was in there last year, who won the NIT, who was crowned champion in the NIT. That's a good opportunity there for Indiana State, for them to prove that they should have been in the tournament for them. Yeah, Duke got, what a draw for them. Vermont and then James Madison for Duke. So they go the first 2 rounds without playing a single major conference opponent, and probably going to get they're going to get a physical team in the next game, depending on who they get, but both teams are super physical. And the issue for Duke this year is that they have struggled with physicality, but today against a speed team like James Madison, they're having no issues. They're drilling their shots. James Madison hasn't seen this type of offense all season long. See, Wisconsin isn't like a sophisticated offense for them. Wisconsin had been hit a rut. They went 3-8 in the Big Ten to close out the regular season, and their offense was horrific. They couldn't get buckets or anything for Wisconsin for long stretches. Again, against this Duke team, it's just much more athleticism, and then you got sharpshooters lined up all over the floor. You got guys who can make perimeter shots, but in the next game, it's either Houston, which you're taking on the top defense in the nation, which is going to bring the physicality to you. Wow, I thought that was going to be a half-court, backcourt violation there, charged to Duke, but they were able to keep it in the court of play there. 60-36. Duke bricked the 3 as we come back to action. James Madison down by 24 with a possession. They fling it out to the wing. Bounce pass goes down to the right block here for James Madison. Inside, off the pivot, they put up the shot and get fouled. And Jalen Carey will shoot 2 coming up at the free throw line. This is not a bad foul by Duke right now. That's only their 3rd as a team. Plus, they're sending Carey, who has been having a tough game at the free throw line. You're sending him to take these 2 shots at the line. Carey today missed the free throw off the rim short. He is just 1 for 4 in this game at the line. First one is good. Yeah, they got to get scoring for Tennessee, because there's been times that they've gone scoreless for stretches for them. Creighton can hit shots. They they can hit shots. It's all about if they get hot from three. If they're making their threes and Tennessee can't score, then it's going to be tough there for Tennessee. It all depends on if Creighton's making shots or not, because they're going to attempt probably around 33s in the entire game. They got like that offense that they have. It's complex. That you have to really put together a defensive masterpiece to defend that offense. Duke's pass got deflected out of bounds. 60-38 now. It's kind of similar to Golden State's offensive scheme, where they play like all the guys circling around off ball to get open, like how they try to get Steph Curry open around the perimeter. Missed shot down low by Duke off the inbound. James Madison with a chance to pull within 20 if they make a shot for a 2 here. Edwards thought about a step back, instead goes in for a leaner, and he traveled with it. So 60-38 right now. That's tough right there for James Madison. They've just had zero momentum this entire game. 0-0 momentum. James Madison hitting their average in turnovers for this one. They've got their 10th turnover to game. The average 10.8 for turnovers per game this season. Circling around back to the outside is Proctor. Proctor winds the shot clock down to 10. Under 13 left to go. Bounce past Filipowski. Filipowski has an open man in the corner with McCain. He dribbles up inside the key. Filipowski powers his way down low, and he gets fouled. James Madison wondering about the call. Jalen Carey picks up the blocking foul, and this will send Filipowski to the free throw line shooting 2. Yeah, Tennessee's got a bunch of experience. They got 8 seniors on that team. Creighton's got a bunch of experience too. They have their that starting five's been playing for ages. And then they added Stephen Ashworth through the transfer portal to take over the spot of Ryan Nembhard. And he's like an older player too. First free throw is good. Filipowski works his way up to 14 now with 5 rebounds. Clemson is leading Baylor right now 28-22. Second free throw by Filipowski, and no good, missed off the mark. Duke picked up a win. Their best win of the season came against Baylor in a non-conference slate by 8, 78-70. Seems like they're like a little bit of a step behind the top tier teams. They went 0-3 against either 1 or 2 or against 1 seeds in the bracket for them. They lost against Arizona. That's a 2 seed. They went 0-3 against 1 or 2 seeds. Lost against Arizona at Cameron Indoor, second game of the season, 78-73. Got swept against UNC this year for them. So, I mean, this is the turbid chance to recreate yourself right now, though. It's a start of a new season for them. Just based on how they played, it just seems like they're a step behind that grouping this year. First free throw here misses at the line for James Madison. Second free throw is good. 61-39. I believe that was the same score with a comeback with Zion back in 2019 at KFC Yum Arena. This game looks like it's out of reach. 12:15 left to go. Yeah, it was like 61-39 with 9 minutes, and they came back. That was my first year of streaming. That was an insane game. I remember the tickets for some of those games. The Duke versus UNC game when Zion was playing, those tickets were going for over $1,000. They were selling for like the cheapest tickets. 6 personal fouls now by James Madison this half. Duke with just 3. I mean, this game has been over for James Madison right from the start. Quarter 3 off the inbound. It's good for the triple there by Proctor. 64-39 up the floor. James Madison couldn't finish at the rim. Here goes Duke with it. Still pushing tempo. Quarter 3, catch and fire. McCain. Oh, he's got one again. Bang a bang by Jerry McCain. 28, making his 8th 3 of the night. For McCain out in transition. Jumper, mid-range. It's good for 2 for JMU. Duke will just slow it down. They have this game well in check right now. If you'd like to come back for Houston versus Texas A&M, feel free to do so. I'll be back around 8:40 p.m. later tonight covering that stream. Top of the key here for Filipowski. Filipowski sends it off to his right to McCain. Slices defenders, takes the distance right to the rim, floats it up, and he drops it into the netting for 2 more. What a game by McCain. He's got 30 on the board right now for Duke. Free throw circle for Carey out to the top of the key. They will brick a 3 off the back rim. Offensive rebound, Carey. Carey flipped up the runner, came up short. And out of the pack here, we have a foul picked up, charged to the Blue Devils. That's on Stewart off the loose ball. But either way, we'll take the timeout here on the floor. Under 11 minutes left to play. Jared McCain on fire in this game, as we will take the time out on the floor with 10:58 left to go. What a statement this weekend by Duke right now. It's actually 69-41. So 69-41 for Duke. McCain's got 30. Filipowski with 14. 14 by Proctor. I mean, they got a great draw, too, in the bracket for them. 2 mid-majors. They could have got Wisconsin. Wisconsin couldn't get past James Madison. But yeah, this was an excellent draw in the bracket that Duke got. Vermont, usually a team out of the America East, that's a dynasty. But in terms of basketball, it's just another powerhouse level with a major step up going against an ACC program. And then James Madison upsetting Wisconsin. Just, it looks like Duke has come in prepared for this matchup, that they're silencing all the doubters that believed that the smaller school would win this game, and that's exactly what happened last year. They took on an Oral Roberts team that beat the crap out of a bunch of opponents but didn't beat anybody. Yeah, it's all these basketball programs, like the basketball schools, Basketball U, that they're beating all these teams with great records, but have like in the 300s for strength of schedule. It's like McNeese State that played 4 opponents that were non-D1, and one of those schools that they played against was MUW, the Mississippi University for women that they played against. Clemson is leading Baylor right now, 30-22. What a reset for Clemson. I mean, Boston College probably could have done some serious damage in this bracket. This should have been called the ACC Invitational, honestly. These ACC teams are ripping through the other opponents in the bracket. Hey, what's good? Joe on the stream. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by, man. Feel free to join in later tonight for Houston versus Texas A&M if you like to stop by for that stream. Last year, Duke won against Oral Roberts in the first round. Oral Roberts last year entered the tournament with a record of 30-4. They were 30-4 entering the tournament. They got destroyed by Houston, 83-45. Beat St. Mary's they lost to St. Mary's last year, 78-70. Lost against Utah State by 10. But then they beat 3 non-Division I schools by the name of John Brown, Ozark Christian, and Rogers State. And that's just a red flag right there when you're playing not 1, not 2, but 3 non-Division I programs on your schedule. They took like a 15-plus winning streak into town against Duke, and Duke shredded them. The score is 17-0 in the first 8 minutes. The final score is 74-51. 30-4 Oral Roberts got slammed against Duke. A year later, here's 32-3 James Madison. And they are getting shredded right now in this matchup, beating 2 Big Ten schools this year, but the ACC on another level for basketball. 10.5 left to go. James Madison down low off the pro hop, and they scored a layup up and off the glass made by Bickerstaff. Yeah, big win right there for Indiana State. That'd be awesome if they're able to win it. Yeah, I'll take a look at that there, man. Corner 3 wide open. Swoosh. These guys came to shoot lights out today. Tyrese Proctor. Trifecta for Proctor from downtown. 71-43. James Madison finally is able to nail a 3. Yeah, Chicago State got a invitation, I think, to one of those, the CBI or the CIT, one of those invitationals. They hadn't even played in over a month for Chicago State. Their season ended like in late February for them, around like February 23. Proctor slides it out to the corner. Catch and fire 3 here for a Duke. Nothing but net to deliver. Jeremy Roach buries down the triple. Ice Ice Baby, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. 9.5 left to go. It's a 3-point fest here with Duke just pouring in all the threes. Duke just made their 13th 3 of the game. And we have a timeout on the floor. 9:29 left to go. 74-46. They're just lights out. Gonzaga's shooting the cover off the ball from 3. Duke's doing the same. Purdue is red hot from 3. These teams are sizzling from the perimeter. 13 for 25 from 3-point range for Duke. 30 by McCain. 16 now by Proctor. McCain and Proctor have combined for 12 out of the 13 made threes. 14 by Filipowski. Roach just made the last 3. He has got 9. Actually, Chicago State still is in the CBI right now. They must have won if they're continuing in the CBI. Yeah, so Cincinnati's taking on Indiana State Tuesday at 9. Yeah, these blowouts in the tournament. Yeah, Evansville right now is taking on Quinnipiac in there. So they get the CBI 34-32. Quinnipiac leads by 2. And I don't have a line or anything for that one yet for a favorite, but yep, Indiana State's going up against Cincinnati. That's a NIT quarterfinal matchup. Duke is sizzling in this one from 3-point range. Feel free to stop by for Houston versus Texas A&M. After this one, we'll tip off at around 8:40 p.m. later tonight. Clemson leads Baylor 32-25 in the final minute left to go before halftime. So Clemson looking like they're going to bust some brackets potentially as a 6 seed to move on into the Sweet 16 for Clemson if they can keep going on in that game. Grand Canyon will take on Alabama later today as well. Northwestern takes on UConn. Texas A&M will take on Houston. Yeah, James Madison looked real good against Wisconsin. This is unfortunate today. I thought this would at least be competitive. Duke's just mopping James Madison off the floor. James Madison has made 15 field goals this entire game. Duke has made 13 threes currently. Outside James Madison. They bobbled it at the corner, and it results in a turnover. Riley, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by, man. Roach will give it off now to Proctor as Proctor takes it up the floor. 11 turnovers by James Madison, just 4 by Duke in this game. Proctor at the March Madness logo. Proctor's guarding by Noah Frito, 101. Proctor, top of the key. Proctor down to 5 in the shot clock. Takes the jumper. Fall away. He drills it. Everything going their way. They're up by 30. they were ready to play this game, silencing a 30-plus win mid-major. Missed 3 by James Madison. They get the offensive rebound. The pass fired, got deflected, intercepted by Blakes. Up the floor, here they go, trying to throw down the hammer. Huge foul as Jalen Blakes goes down hard. It was Sean Stewart who came up with the interception. Wow. That was some massive contact right there as Blakes fell down, crashing right underneath the hoop in front of the stanchion here. That's a hard fall. Let's see Noah Friedel, number 1. Oh, that's a hard land right there by Blakes, trying to throw down the hammer, and he just, drops down, trying to throw down the right-handed slam off the backside. This is going to be at least a flagrant, you would think. At least a flagrant 1. We'll see if it's enough to warrant a 2. Holy smokes, that collision right there. And he had to get helped out to his feet, too. He went down hard for Jalen Blakes. Massive impact. That was a hard fall, yeah. It looks like something severely wrong. He's going to have to go to the locker room. I would not be shocked if this is a flagrant 2 here. He fell hard on his, elbow, I think right side, back side. Oh, that's a terrible fall. He tried to throw down a dunk, going down in his side. Oh, ouch. Yeah, the right side. Holy smokes. That's a massive impact. So, yeah, I would not be shocked if this is a flagrant 2 and they eject Noah Friedel out of the game for him. We'll see what the officials have to roll right here, but this might be it for Noah Friedel. That was massive, that hit there just a moment ago. Jalen Blakes immediately had to go to the locker room. That's a flagrant 1. He gets lucky there. A flagrant 1. Wow. Hey, what's good? Robert on the stream. Welcome in. That's now number 7 as well for James Madison. So even if this is a flagrant 1, this is going to warrant 2 shots. So 2 shots here by Roach at the free throw line. First one's good. Roach with his second free throw, plus the ball for Duke, and he makes the free throw. 78-46. Just national demolishing here. Duke underneath the hoop will get the inbound. And the inbound got deflected out. Clemson has a 10-point lead at half against Baylor, 35-25. Bounce pass goes out to the corner. Roach at the right corner perimeter here for Duke. Sends it out to the wing. Back into the hands to Roach. 12 on the shot clock for Roach now. Roach, a dribble drive right down the lane inside. Slices the defenders. Took it a distance. We do have a foul if they will not count it here, though. And they're not going to count the buckets, as it was before the shooting motion got held up to from behind by a JMU defender, so they will not count that basket. He will head to the free throw line, though. They're in a bonus. 1-1 by Jeremy Roach. 8:14 left to play. First free throw in the 1-1. It's good. I'll be back later tonight covering my final stream, Houston against Texas A&M, so make sure to stop on by if you guys would like for that one as well. Second free throw by Roach, right down the middle. 80-46 currently. Was not expecting the score to be like this. James Madison getting shredded by Duke right now. So we're down to the final 8 minutes of action. Noah Friedel at the left wing perimeter, guarded by Mitchell, sends it on top. Now they'll drive to the cup. No good. Missed off the mark by Michael Green. Duke looking to run with it. Up the floor with Mitchell. Passes back outside to Roach. Roach is going to slow it down. 56% shooting this game by Duke, 13 for 25 from 3. James Madison, 43% from the floor, just 3 for 12 from the perimeter. Mark Mitchell, top of the key, jab step, drives, inside to the low block. Mitchell off the spin move, puts it up, got it blocked. James Madison came up with the basketball. Here goes the Dukes now. Friedel from the parking lot with a pull-up, and he splashes it. 80-49. Imagine if they were making more shots like those tonight. Too little, too late for JMU. Timeout here on the floor as we will take the timeout. 80-49. It's all Duke. All right, this is been a major blowout. Yeah, these guys are hitting some high-level shots tonight for Duke. 13 for 25 from 3, and the bulk of that's been from Jared McCain. Jared McCain's gone off. 30 points on 8 made threes. He's having the game of his life out there today for him. Yeah, this is like an unfortunate mid-major curse for a lot of these mid-majors. They've had some issues in their second-round matchup. Princeton last year was not the case. They beat Missouri in round 2. And but like mid-majors that's like seeded from like 10 through 16, they've always had issues in round 2, even though they beat round 1. I remember John Morant with that Murray State team. They had a record similar to this 5 years ago. They crushed Marquette in round 1, and then in round 2, Florida State destroyed Murray State. And this is like kind of like the similar case in this one too. Crazy blowouts for sure. Like Purdue racking up 106 points this afternoon. These teams that's blowing out their opponents, they're finding their rhythm from 3. All those teams. Gonzaga yesterday was ripping threes against Kansas. Kansas again getting smashed in the second round game. I mean, that's nothing new. They got smashed against USC in 2021. They bounced back, won the championship the next year. And then they just got smashed again by Kansas this year against Gonzaga. Duke, just they're making threes left and right, same as Purdue today. That's what happens when you catch fire. Miami was like that last year. I remember Miami when they beat Houston last year. They put up, I think it was something like 88-71. Miami swept Houston off the floor last year, the Sweet 16 matchup. It wasn't even close. Like they were drilling threes in that game left and right. I remember, I think it was Isaiah Wong who was going off. He made a bunch of threes that game. Yeah, Illinois crushed Duquesne. A lot of these games have been just blowouts. Besides that Creighton-Oregon game, went into double overtime last night. Right now, Clemson's got a 10-point lead at the half over Baylor, 35-25. So we come back to action. Final 7:20 left to go. Jared McCain, 30 total points in this game, making 8 threes. Proctor sends it outside. They have number 12 on the floor right now for Duke with TJ Power in his first season from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, going in to the rotation players. There's a player down, crashing into the stanchion. That Proctor? Yeah, it was Proctor. Proctor went crashing down into the stanchion, was able to get up. Jalen Blakes earlier absorbed a hard contact with a foul. He's back on the bench right now for Jalen Blakes. Yeah, it might have been Nigel Pack. Yeah. Somebody from Miami went off. It was one of those, or maybe it was both of those guys. But Wong Pack was on that team. It might have been the two of them, honestly, that went off together. They were hoisting up threes and sinking them left and right. First free throw missed at the line for Duke. Second free throw skipped in. And then Duke's going to take on either Houston or A&M. If it's Houston, it's going to be like the first actual game like in a long time, to see if they can prove themselves for Duke, because Duke has struggled against one or two seeds. The top seeds in the tournament, they've gone 0-3 against this year. They lost against Arizona in game number 2 of the season at Cameron Indoor. Got swept against UNC this season. So that's a golden opportunity right there for Duke to see if they can just be able to pick up a major upset if they do face Houston in the Sweet 16 next week. $81.51. Thanks all for joining in, being a part on the stream. Wish it was a much more closer competitive game, but hopefully the next one will be Texas A&M versus Houston. I'll be back in around an hour and a half from now, covering my final stream of the night. Turnover committed by Duke off the inbound. Up the floor with Noah Friedel for James Madison. Baseline dribble, tried to go backdoor, and he got blocked underneath. It was number 12, TJ Power from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, who came up with a block. Top 25 recruit for Power. Duke's going to slow it down here. Yeah, I'm going to take Grand Canyon, actually, in that next one. Lob over the top, and they throw it down with a two-handed jam with an alley-oop by Sean Stewart. It's Roach who records the assist for Duke. That's the exclamation point on this one for tonight. James Madison with the ball. Top of the key here with Xavier Brown. Kick out left corner. Bickerstaff with a 3 off the mark. No good. Tipped up to Power. And we have a loose ball foul picked up. I believe it's charged to Duke on the floor. Yeah, it might be, honestly. Texas A&M ranks bottom 10 in the country in field goal shooting efficiency. Houston is number 1 in the country in fewest points allowed and field goal percentage defense. So if Texas A&M is not getting their offensive rebounds, that game could get real ugly fast. Same as UConn against Northwestern. We might have some more big like 30+ blowouts later tonight, potentially. Yeah, so he's back on the bench. Jalen Blakes, he got clotheslined by Noah Friedel and James Madison. He's actually back on the bench right now for him. They rolled out a goaltend by Duke, so Duke by 30 right now with the basketball. Roach, kick out, corner, open 3, Power. No good off the mark, tipped up. Mitchell able to save it, though, as he sends it directly back to Roach. 20 in the shot clock as we're down to the final 5 minutes. Jeremy Roach is going to slow it down. Torian, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. Roach, 8 in the shot clock here for Duke. Roach dribbles up, drives, downhill, floats at the runner, mid-range, he's got it. Jeremy Roach puts it in for 2. 85-53, what a decimation that this game has been. Roach has got 15. James Madison with a possession. Terrence Edwards at the right wing. Just hasn't been the same in this game since he picked up 2 quick fouls. Corner 3 missed off the mark. Floated off the glass. No good for James Madison. Another chance missed around the rim and out. Rebound out of the pack picked up by Mitchell. It goes right back over to Duke with a rebound. And Duke's going to slow it down once again with Roach. Take the shot clock down. Duke with just 5 turnovers the entire game. The Dukes of James Madison with 12. The difference maker has been perimeter shooting. 13 made threes by Duke. 8 of those were made by Jerry McCain. Here's a corner 3. Make it 14. Bang, bang. Oh, the Blue Devils keep on sinking shots. Trifecta from the perimeter. It is a made 3 by number 12, TJ Power. James Madison down at the low block. Their pass gets deflected. Intercepted by Mitchell. Mitchell runs up the floor. 3-on-1. Lobs it up over the top. Throwing it down with the alley-oop jam. That is Sean Stewart going up right there for the alley-oop, and he throws it down. 90-53. So we have a timeout taken on the floor with 3:32 left. What an annihilation right now. 90-53. Blowouts in the second rounds. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams, and feel free to join back in for my final stream later tonight. Texas A&M taking on Houston, and Hopefully we'll get something that's actually competitive. Grand Canyon is tipping off against Alabama right now. Northwestern will tip off against UConn in a little bit as well. That's at 7:45, and then I'll be back for Texas A&M versus Houston later today. What a clinic here by Duke. A lot of these teams that's advanced over to the Sweet 16, what they have in common is perimeter shot making. Gonzaga, Purdue, and Duke. Those three in particular, destroying their opponents in the second rounds, have all been able to catch fire from the outside. 30 by McCain, 18 by Proctor, 15 by Roach, 14 by Filipowski. It's going to set up a really, really good Sweet 16. 14 for 27 from 3 as a team for Duke. Over half of those threes were made by McCain today, 8 out of the 14. Three-zip Alabama right now in the first 2 minutes against Grand Canyon. Clemson leads by 10 over Baylor, 35-25. Yup, 90 burger on this one. Purdue put up 106 in the last game. I don't think a lot of people had Clemson making it to the Sweet 16, but they're halfway there, leading by 10 over Baylor in the first half. That Baylor team is a late bloomer, though. They always struggle in the first half, and the final 10 minutes, they seem to, like, take the game by storm and figure out how to play with one another and win the game. So it wouldn't shock me if Baylor comes back and wins that game today. Yeah, it's crazy, this whole transfer portal. Like, it's the teams that's playing in the tournament, they're a step behind all the other teams out of the transfer portal that don't play in the NCAA tournaments or don't play in the postseason. These teams right now that's playing for a national championship are a step behind that. Like they can't go out and see if they can pick up transfers because they're focused on winning a championship. 3 minutes left to go right now as we come back to action. Duke drives inside the key. They lost. It got stolen away here by James Madison up the floor for the Dukes, and a lot of contact here as we will have a shooting foul picked up charge to the Blue Devils. But yeah, they got to get some sort of rules out there when it comes down to, like, coaching, hires, and transfer portal stuff, because Washington State, they got eliminated yesterday from the tournament, and their head coach this morning, it was announced he's a top candidate for the Stanford job. Like, I think you got to let the season play out, because there's other candidates that Surly Wordy that right now is coaching their teams today. Certainly Bryce Drew for Grand Canyon, he's going to get a bigger head coaching job in the future, wherever that will be, but gotta be able to be fair and have him go on interviews and have the opportunity. When his team's still playing, he doesn't have that chance right now to do that. I mean, it's unfortunate. The head coach for Oakland, Greg Campy, coach for 40 years at Oakland. It's an hour away from the University of Michigan Ann Arbor. They hired Dusty May yesterday from FAU as the new head coach. That guy deserves an opportunity to be a Power 5 head coach with Greg Campy. An hour away from Michigan. I mean, like, that's just simple dedication right there. 40 years. I bet he wouldn't accept it anyway, because he's probably towards, like, retirement too for him, and probably enjoys that lower, like, coaching at a smaller school, like the community-oriented aspect to it, as James Madison fires it down low on their D tiers. They will score the buckets. I guess that's, like, the good thing, like, community-oriented stuff when you have, like, a smaller school, because I announced at Stonehill for some of the broadcasting stuff, they only have, like, 2,100 students, so it's a very small college. Wofford got into the tournament 5 years ago, And they have like the smallest enrollment, I believe, out of like any college at the Division I level. Nice pass down low there. Missed off the mark by Duke as we're down to 2 minutes remaining. Whereas some of these colleges have like, I know Boston University has over like 18,000 students. I think Arizona State has something like 75,000 or something. I think they get the most students out of anybody in the country. That Grand Canyon school, GCU, most of that's like online classes, because I see their ads online all the time. A lot of those are like online classes that they have, and then they're packing arenas for Grand Canyon. They had a bunch of fans at that St. Mary's game the other night. Missed 3. The follow is there though for 2 for Duke. Yeah, they have it pretty packed for their basketball arena. They're only in their second year for D1, but I think they only have like around like 1,500 to 2,000 fans for capacity. That's like the seating is like 1,500 to 2,000, but it's packed over there. Final minute left to play, as Duke has it with their reserves right now on the floor. Wow, he didn't catch that yesterday with Chris Dunn being ejected. Missed layup by Duke with number 55, Spencer Hubbard, getting an opportunity in the final minute. Missed shot from 3 as well for James Madison, and the wheels in this game fell off big for James Madison. Duke, once again, back-to-back years for them, just destroying a mid-major that came in with an incredible record, but the non-conference schedule was incredibly weak. They do it once again. Last year it was Oral Roberts in the first round. This year it's James Madison by a large margin. And James Madison committed a reach and follow, so this will stop the clock. We got 21 seconds left. Yeah, I see a bunch of their ads like for online that they do, like online classes there for them. Southern New Hampshire is a Division II program. They do like a bunch of online classes for that college. 2 shots at the free throw line. First one missed by Duke. It's Spencer Hubbard. Clemson right now is running away with it against Baylor. Clemson leads 37-25 at the start of the second half. I'll be back later tonight for Texas A&M versus Houston. Feel free to stop them by if you guys would like. Did not expect this game to be this big of a blowout, but wow. Duke's going to be moving on. They'll take on the winner of Houston versus Texas A&M in the Sweet 16 next week, as we're down to the final 12 seconds left to play. James Madison with a 3, air ball out of bounds. Great first round win against Wisconsin. Today, though, the wheel just fell off the blue blood of Duke. Just too much to handle over James Madison. Yeah, that McNeese State team had, I think they played like 4 games against non-D1 opponents that they had. Final seconds of this game remaining, and Duke comes out with a massive victory. A 38-point win in this one for Duke. 93-55 the final score in this one. Massive blowouts in the round of 32. That is now back-to-back blowouts we've had today between Purdue winning against Utah State and Duke demolishing James Madison. Duke's going to take on the winner of Texas A&M or Houston. Whoever they face will be a Texas team, and it will take place in Dallas, Texas on Friday. So thanks all for joining in, being a part on the stream for this one. I'll be back in around an hour and 20 minutes from now covering Texas A&M versus Houston, the 9 versus 1 seed in action, and hopefully we can get a much more competitive game than this for that one tonight. And it's been a couple of games that has not looked so hot in terms of competitiveness lately here. But 93-55 the final score. 14 for 28 from 3 for Duke. Duke just knocking down shots with Jared McCain playing a game of his life here. 30 points by McCain, making 8 threes. Tyrese Proctor, 18 points. He made 4 threes, 15 by Roach with 6 assists, and then 14 by Filipowski. Just 6 turnovers this entire game for Duke. They forced 14 by James Madison. James Madison's top scorer, Terrence Edwards, was limited to 13 points in tonight's game for James Madison. Thanks all for joining in. I'll be back in around an hour, 20 minutes from now for Houston versus Texas A&M. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you guys back soon. We're going to close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams. We got Jason, Warren, Rajib, I Am Ghost, Russell, John, Mark, Kelly, Jeffrey, Vegas, Oink Oink, Michael, Katie, Bradley, Daniel, Derek, Sister Surround, Mario, Guido, Tristan, SG Sports Talk, Ice Ice Baby, Robin, Melinda, and Jack City. Thanks all for joining in, being a part in the stream for this one. Duke rolls 38-point victory over James Madison, 93-55. Duke wins by a massive margin.